Justin Bieber. So what is your take there?
He's not going after the whole industry. It really feels like this one is kind of Scooter specifically taking personal offense to what's going on here. And Scooter kind of got trapped in the middle of this deal with Hybe.
Let's discuss a bit about the deal with Hybe.
So Scooter was hemorrhaging his clients. Scooter's very well known in the industry for not being, shall we say, the nicest guy to work with or for. Over and over, artists throughout his career have left him and said that he's great until he doesn't need you anymore, and then you're discarded. And Justin was like his last big name. And he sold his whole business, Ithaca Holdings, to Hybe, which is the K-pop company, which is very like the Korean mafia of music. And he sold what he had for $1 billion to Hybe. And this company, Ithaca Holdings, was like making less than 200 million a year in revenue, I believe. So it's like they're selling it at this crazy high valuation. And presumably that's because it includes the future perpetual rights to Justin Bieber and his brand.
Interesting.
Right?
Okay, I didn't even look at this.
And so, yeah, Justin then goes on this crazy, more than a year-long world tour where he happens to get COVID at the start of it. And then he happens to get an injury that looks an awful lot like a vaccine injury.
His wife also had she had a brain clot.
Exactly. And he winds up with half his face paralyzed, can't continue. Apparently, the tour was booked out on advances, which is not uncommon for the industry as far as I'm aware. But it's such a big tour. We're talking hundreds of millions, at least tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars advanced. And so when he's partway through this tour and then can't continue, suddenly there's a whole bunch of debt that's been incurred that's not getting paid back. And obviously then Justin goes to his management and is like, so we have insurance, right? This is no problem. We have insurance for this kind of a thing. And allegedly what then was told to him is that, no, you broke your contract. So there is no insurance payout here. You actually have to cover this debt. Like all of these things reflect on the management. Right. And how poor their management style is. So that all happens in the middle, and Justin is trying to get out, and Scooter's on the hook for $1 billion worth of value. Like he's promised $1 billion worth of Justin Bieber's future to this Korean company, which he's now on the board of. It feels to me like everyone is sort of trapped in bad ideas that are sort of leveraged to the hilt in terms of how much money is involved and how many promises are involved. And it all revolves around Justin continuing to produce music, which like anyone who's had a kid or a creative in their life knows that no creative dude like Justin is going to be producing hit singles if he hates you and you're trying to control his whole life. And so it feels like we're seeing not only these smear campaigns to try to get him back in line coming from Scooter, but it also feels like we're seeing Justin kind of acting out because he has no power. He's in secret litigation. They won't let him open a new clothing company. They won't let him like profess his, faith in God, or they're slandering that. So it's messy in every direction.
Yeah. It's really interesting because it also makes you just revisit everybody in the past that has kind of gone through a similar thing, a similar cycle.